Greetings from Red Deer, Alberta. My name is Patrick McLean, and I am the nephew of Marianne McLean. Marianne McLean has been a part of Storytelling Alberta for literally my entire life, which happens to be 40 years. This is a kind of an honor of mine that I'm able to introduce my aunt here in the story that she will share with you, as she has shared these stories with me so many times in my life that they have had a significant role in a lot of the ways that I tell my own story. So it is my honor to be able to introduce my aunt. And this is an excerpt from a larger story known as The Perfume of Pears. And she has taken it and adapted it a little bit. And we're going to call this story The Importance of Celebration. Thank you very much.
It was a really hot day, and Dad was taking a load of grain into the elevator in town, and he wanted to know if we were going to come with him. But Mom didn't deal very well with heat. She had not been raised in a hot place, and she was just wilted from the heat. And she said no, she didn't think she wanted to go, and that meant I wouldn't go either. I was kind of disappointed. Nevertheless, we stayed home and we stayed in the shade. She told me some stories, and we only ate cold stuff for lunch. So it wasn't that bad. And then Dad came home from town, and he pulled into the yard, and he got off the tractor and he put some stuff on top of the clothesline stand with his jacket on top. And he came in and said, "Come on outside, it's cooler now." So we went outside. Mom was still pretty wilted from the heat. And then he said, "I brought a treat." And he made a da-da kind of noise. And he whipped his jacket off the top of the clothesline stand. And there was 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. And he opened the both and gave them to us. And he said no, he wasn't going to share it because he'd already had something cold to drink. So we drank the Coca-Cola and felt very sophisticated and cool because it was a hot, hot evening. But there was still something on the clothesline stand. When he pulled his jacket off of the 2 bottles of Coca-Cola, he just flipped it over and there was still something underneath it. And Mom said, "What's that?" And he said, "Oh, that's the other surprise." And he whipped his jacket off with a flourish like it was from a circus or something. And he said, "Ta-da!" And it was a cream-colored metal box. And I didn't know what it was. And I looked at Mom, and she was kind of trying to figure it out. And he said, "It's a Coleman stove." And she said, "What did it cost?" And he told her, and she said, "We can't afford that." And he said, "Yeah, we can today." I really got a good price on that load of grain I took in. And he said, "I thought you would like to have it for when you're doing canning and you don't have to use a stove. And it'll be so much cooler for you." And she didn't say very much. And then she said, "That's a really good gift." And so we sat out there on the step together, the 3 of us, and we shared the 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. And I learned some things, like when something happens that's a really great surprise, you should have a celebration. And if you're going to have a celebration, you should break out whatever you got that's the good stuff, like we did with the Coca-Cola. And after you've had that celebration, you should all congratulate each other on what a nice evening it was. And that's how I learned about how to run a celebration.